Always on time. Where's what you told me? There we go. Look at that live. Folks, I am Kurt Van Anen. Welcome to the Mañana morning check-in. It is June 10th, 2021. And I noticed my camera is doing this weird light and dark thing. So I might have to switch and go to my backup camera here later. But folks, maybe I should turn down the music too, because I don't know if you're picking up on the music or not, but just jamming out, having a good time. Already had one stellar meeting this morning. Really enjoy the folks at Lifter LMS. Great team there, great culture at the company. I don't work, with them full time or anything like that, but it's nice to be part of that organization and be able to keep my finger on the pulse, of what's going on with learning management systems and the WordPress environment and all that kind of stuff. And helping the folks that are with Lifter is a lot of fun. In fact, it's where I've got one of my latest clients from. I'm on the Lifter LMS experts list, and one of my clients in San Francisco is from that list, and had a stellar meeting with her yesterday regarding her project that we're working on. And she has a lot of customization design things, right? She's really big on design. So letter spacing, padding, she referred to the term kerning, like kerning is a term you might have heard, like with print media, right, where the space between the letters. Well, of course, there's word kerning and there's area kerning and things like that, but we call it padding when we're building the website, right? You want to make sure you have enough padding, enough white space between the features, right? So we were going through that yesterday, and the meeting was phenomenal. It goes both ways, and there's such a benefit to having a win-win with somebody. Like when a client says, let me tell you my expectations, and you're like, great, I'm glad that you're sharing your expectations with me. Let me show you how I can exceed those expectations, right? And it's just nice when it's a give and take and it works really, really well, which it does with this particular client. So I'm having a blast. We've got another client down in Florida, and we are kind of in a holding pattern there. And, that's interesting when we talk about business, and we talk about the cadence of business, the cadence of communication. That's, I talk a lot about communication and the importance of leadership and all of these things. And the cadence of communication, or when that communication line breaks, it's amazing what that can do to the momentum of the project. Again, I'm not going to call them out by name or anything like that, but when I first started kind of interacting, that's a good term. When I first started interacting with this client, there was a sense or a feeling of, I'll go this way so it looks right for you guys, right? So there was a sense or a feeling that I want to go this way so it looks good right for you guys. There we go. They wanted it done, they wanted this much work done in this amount of time, right? Everything was a rush. Well, here we are, almost a year later, and this time's already passed. Like the initial conversation was, the project's going to be this big, and we need it done by here. Well, now the project, based on a little coaching and stuff, probably from more than one source, me being one of those sources, increase the scope of that project, right? And so from a corporate standpoint, it's kind of normal, as the bigger a project gets, the more consideration it earns, right? But if you planned on having something done here and you're still in the consideration phase here, where are we going to be at on the calendar when this really starts to take effect? And when there's gaps in communication, or when there's those those touch points that you'd like to have along the way, it's so weird to talk about emotional intelligence when you're talking about productivity, right? But based on emotional intelligence, you want to stay connected and maintain momentum and keep moving forward. And that's important. And when that breaks, sometimes it's hard to get reinitiated, and we went through a little bit of that on both sides, to be honest with you. And so I think it's still positive. I think we're still going to move forward. I love the project. The project's going to be a lot of fun. For me personally, it puts me right in my wheelhouse. It has me covering subject matter that I'm an expert in already. And what's cool is I get to make myself even more of an expert on it by onboarding with them and kind of embedding with them for a little bit and becoming an in-house social media expert for their business to build them really customized content. and I love doing that. Those that know me know that I'm really big on building things. I love to build and share. So there's a lot going on. Really just wanted to communicate today from a place of positivity, from a place of if you're burdened, if you're worried, if you're anxious, stop. Stop. I think it's Steve Harvey said, we are 100% successful in overcoming every obstacle that occurred before today. Right? I think that's what Steve Harvey said once, right? And of course, he said it much more emphatically, and I think it hit harder than what I just said. But he said we're 100% successful on overcoming every obstacle that existed before today. As in, you're here today. You made it this far, right? Nothing else knocked you down to the point where you couldn't get to today. And so take all those past experiences and successes and amass them for an assault on today, right? And just kill it. And so much of that type of messaging is what I feel really helped bring a lot of us through this whole last 2 years. I mean, I was just talking to a neighbor this morning and talking a little bit about COVID and lockdowns and society and finance. Out here in Southern California, if you're a young family trying to buy a house, good luck. I've talked to multiple people that have been trying to buy a house for months and months, and they're consistently getting outbid. So personal anecdotal story. A friend of mine has been trying to buy a house here locally, and him and his wife have bid on at least 20 properties, and they've been outbid on every single property by $15,000, $20,000, $30,000. And it's a unique time because we're hearing about high unemployment numbers. We're hearing about employment vacancies at companies that are unable to be filled. We're hearing all kinds of bad stories about personal economies, and then we're seeing a housing shortage, an RV shortage, a motorcycle shortage, a bicycle shortage, and it's like what's going on? Where did everybody come up with all of the cash to go bicycle shopping? And to be clear, when I say bicycle shopping, I don't mean going to Walmart. I mean going to a bicycle store and plunking down $3,000 on an, I hate to say entry level, but $3,000 on a mid-level mountain bike, right? There's none left. You can't find them. You can't buy them. You might be able to, do a consumer direct deal online, but if you're trying to go to a local bicycle shop that used to carry inventory, there's no inventory left. I mean, the shelves are empty, and it's unique to me. I'm looking at everything around me and I'm going, okay, I don't understand everything that's happening, but I'll go back to what Steve Harvey said. So far, I'm 100% effective on surviving the obstacles of yesterday. Here I am today. So, just chill. I started out this call and I talked about positive things. I said, A, it's a great day. B, welcome to the call. C, I've got this great customer story out of San Francisco. Yeah. D, I've got this, good customer story out of Florida, right? Where I admit I may have dropped the ball. They may have cut communication a little bit, but here we are back on the same track again and moving forward and regaining that momentum. And momentum to me it might just be the keyword of the week for me. In fact, if I was doing the daily inspiration emails, today would probably be an email about momentum. Maybe I'll save that one for this next week's release that we do. But in case you missed that, the daily email is now a weekly email. So I try to send those out on Mondays. If you're not part of the email list, just go to mañananomas.com, click on the Academy link. And when that new homepage opens up, you'll see join the newsletter list right there. And, get on that list. And, I took it down. Daily was a little much. It was a little much for me to keep up with. I'll admit it. And it was a little much, I think, for readers to see me pop in their inbox every single day. And so I took it down to weekly, and I'm going to try and make those more impactful, more value added, and just once a week. So there's that, and then of course the daily message here. So think about how I started out to the message, right? Positivity, talking about others, patting others on the back, trying to find a way to add value to others, talking about that momentum, and then of course being on a quest to figure out how to maintain that momentum and even add to it, right? And so I think that's where I might leave it. Folks, I enjoy the heck out of you. I've asked pretty emphatically over the last week or two, feedback, join the YouTube channel, throw in a comment. Let me know that you're there. Let me know your opinions. Give me some feedback. Let me know what you want to hear about. I've got a ton of material on leadership, communication, team building, key performance indicators, how to make decisions based on the numbers, right? I mean, look at the book by Kevin Cope, right? Seeing the bigger picture, and talking about those 5 things, those 5 drivers for business. Talk about the John Maxwell book, right? We covered what, 2 or 3 of those last year we covered, and the materials in the Academy for free. So if you go to, again, mañananomas.com, click on Academy, in the courses, you can see I've got a couple of free offerings, and a few of those are John Maxwell book reviews that are broken down by chapter. So I encourage you, get in, join the community, comment with others, interact. At the end of this, I just had a conversation yesterday with somebody about what we're doing with Power Sports Roundtable, which is one of the Mañana No Mas projects. And we were talking about what we're going to do with the Power Sport Roundtable and how to make it more interactive and how to get more people to participate in it. And I think moving forward, it's going to be these types of micro communities that are going to be able to create momentum for teams of people and these communities to be able to forge forward as a group, because you can amass a lot more change with a group of like-minded individuals than just one person, screaming from the mountaintop, right? So there's a lot of that going on right now in my little circle, and I want to share that with you. I want to bring you into it. I want you to be part of the community, and let's see what we can put together. Momentum. It's a good word.